Kinnock appeared to offer a coalition against crime. There was, he said, national concern about violence, crime, drug-taking, a whole breakdown of behaviour. He promised Mrs Thatcher Labour's backing if the government took action against the causes.
If the Right Honourable Lady is prepared to take action to get at the causes, can I assure her, she'll have the full cooperation of the opposition in taking activities to provide the cures.
But the Prime Minister, in a frosty response to the Labour leader, said there'd been enough inquiries into crime and hooliganism.
The causes will vary, from lack of parental discipline, lack of teacher discipline, background, everything. When one has said that, it is not exactly easy to cure it.
Nearly all Britain's professional football clubs have encountered the problems caused by so-called fans who run amok on the terraces, but some clubs, often through no fault of their own, have consistently attracted troublemakers.
Millwall's problems are severe, but they're far from being unique. Only last week at Chelsea, another London club with a big hooligan following, a visiting player was attacked on the pitch. For years, Leeds have had to put up with thugs who call themselves the City Chain Gang. At Bristol City, things have got so bad the club secretary has resigned, sickened by the violence. And even a club like Blackpool, with only a few thousand on the terraces, has a big hooligan problem. Various remedies have been considered. In Scotland, there's been a ban on selling alcohol at football grounds for 4 years. The Scottish Football Association believe that things have improved ever since. On policing too, the Scots are far stricter. Scottish clubs are compelled to pay for more policemen than English ones. And some believe that when supporters travel to away games, they should always be accompanied by police from their own area, because those policemen will know the troublemakers. Then there's a question of sentencing by magistrates. Should there be stiffer sentences as a deterrent? And should the vandals face more serious criminal charges? And there are many advocates of detention centres as places where hooligans would have to go at least on match days. But these solutions and others have been mooted for some time, along with conferences, commissions and reports. But any optimistic talk about a breakthrough has been killed by a fresh outbreak of soccer's disease. So, has the government done enough?
It is a society problem, and one that football isn't able to handle on its own. The government gets over £200 million a year from betting tax from the football industry, and some of that money should positively be used to combat this problem.
But how? In practical terms, what should the government be doing?
When we saw Neil McFarlane last November, we suggested there should be a central committee made up of high-calibre personnel from the Home Office and Police, the Magistrates Association, the transport, getting these fans to grounds, covering the provision of alcohol, and of course the football people. Strong guidelines should be given, and if anybody of those parties is not adhering to those guidelines, then action should be taken.
I've always acknowledged that we've had a part to play in helping the various authorities, the Football Association and the police and the other forces of law and order, the transport police and perhaps the ferry operators and so on. And I'm anxious to do what I can to help, and have since 1982. But at the end of it, the government doesn't run sport in this country. Every governing body of sport runs itself. I don't choose the chairman of the FA any more than I choose the chairman of the Test and Counties Cricket Board. That has to be done by the sport itself, and it has to regulate itself. We have a job to play, a part to play in all this, and a job to do alongside them. We provide monies in many, many ways, and we provide other forms of assistance. But they've got to work out how they're going to tackle this problem, and I want to find out within a week precisely what they're going to do.
Neil McFarlane, the Sports Minister. 29 people appeared before Luton magistrates this afternoon on charges arising from last night's trouble. A 19-year-old youth who admitted threatening behaviour was sent to a detention centre for 3 months. It was his second offence at a football match in 6 months. Another man was fined £250 and given a suspended 3-month prison sentence after he admitted using threatening words and behaviour. And 2 Millwall supporters who appeared before the magistrates asked for police protection when they left the court. They'd been met outside by about 12 Luton supporters. Police led them out another way.
They're just a Millwall. They got on the pitch, right, and the coppers just let them go into the match. Let them come into where we were.
There wasn't enough room for them, for all their fans.
No. I know, but they should have followed that before. They should have got to the ground and said there was no more room. I mean? Or at least clear the space, instead of just putting them in there where loot supports are already. They should have cleared the space first, got loot supports out of there, then put them in.